More details have emerged on the mass shooting that took place in Kagiso on the West Rand last night. Earlier, we reported that a seventh person had died. A gunman entered a house in the area and shot the owner, his girlfriend, and their neighbour. The gunman then left the house and randomly opened fire, killing 3 more people. Several other people were also injured. Ziniko Mhlaba is on top of that story for you. What more do we know about this, Ziniko?
It's a very, very sad story we got here in Tsepisong, in Kagiso, on the West Rand. This is where alleged group of gunmen, from what we are hearing from the witnesses and neighbors who were here when this happened, the people or the deceased were not killed by a single person. So this was a group of young men who are allegedly undocumented illegal immigrants who are not known by this community. So what we are hearing is that in the harm, I'm just going to step out of this shot so that we can give you a sense of where we are and what had happened. So these 2 houses that you are seeing, the grey house, the house that is painted in grey, that's a neighbor of the house. As you can see in that garage, that's where 5 people were inside. And the house next door that is not painted, that's where the wedding anniversary was taking place. So what we are told by eyewitnesses and neighbors is that as the wedding anniversary was taking place in this house that is not painted, the neighbor and his wife and the brother and their family friend, those are 4 people, and the son of the person who was getting married, who was celebrating an anniversary on that side, were sitting in this garage. As you can see in this door, that's where they were sitting when they were ambushed by this group of young people who went in and ambushed and opened fire, killing them on the spot. And what we are hearing from eyewitnesses is that all these people who were in that garage were killed, were shot in their heads. So that tells you that these are people who are very skilled in regards to the use of firearm. Following that, chaos erupted in this community. I'm going to step out of the camera again so that will give you a sense. So where you see these vehicles, that's where the tent was. People were celebrating, having fun in the tent that was here. When shots were fired, people started dispersing, taking cover, trying to save their lives. And a gentleman who was also part of this group that was outside this yard was trying to run away. These men came out of that garage and started shooting at anyone they could see. So I'm going to walk towards the entrance of this family so that we can try to talk to community members. We understand that the ward councillor from around here has arrived just to get a sense of what happened and what could have been the circumstances. I'm going to bring in councillor Miss Sylvia. Ma'am Sylvia, sorry to disturb you. I understand that you're very, very busy. You're live on Newzroom Afrika. Okay. We are here in Tsepisong following the news that people were shot. As a community leader, what have you gathered so far? And what do you understand to have happened from your own understanding? As I understand that you had a meeting with the family earlier on.
No. It was yesterday around 6 o'clock when there was a marriage feast at Malayaka family, where they were celebrating the 24 years together, and then it was the first time that they were putting in some rings. It was their marriage, but they've been together for 24 years. While other people were sitting to next door neighbors, and then they came and then just randomly shot people, and many people were shot dead. Others were taken to hospital. This was, when community were explaining to me, it's so sad. If you can see the guy who was getting married, it's so sad. That is why in the morning we decided to come here to mourn with people, with community, to show our support to community, because as the community leader, when things like this do happen in the community, you are counting yourself in, you ask God, what wrong did I do to lead this community? What is it that can be done? But you'll understand, in our area, there is no police station. When any incident happens, we have to call the police from Kagiso, so it's far from them. But it's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad.
Mama, are these men alleged killers known to this community? And as we were talking, we had community members around here saying they've got a problem of crime. People are getting shot. And these are the people who are allegedly renting shacks within these yards. So are these alleged killers known to the community? And you're also mentioning the fact of safety and security and lack of police visibility. As a community leader, what do you have to say to respond to those things? But also, what needs to be done now? Because apparently, people are vulnerable here.
For now, community members are very much vulnerable. And then there are issues of Zamazama in the community, of which when we were talking to community, they are talking about the Zamazamas. Maybe it's a hit from now, they are randomly killing people if they don't get what they want. That's what the information that the community gave us. It's all about the boss of the Zamazamas was killed last week. Now they are following up to say they are going to kill, and then up until they get the person who killed their boss, they are going to continue kill. So what we would like to solemnly ask from SAPS is to make sure that the visibility, they must make sure that the security guard in this area, they must assist the community to be seen. And JMPD, I think, for keeping bylaws in terms of law enforcement, I think JMPD also must make sure that they become visible. That is why we were even speaking, the mayor of the city of Johannesburg was so sorry about what happened. Maybe they will make a plan to come, because we cannot at this era allow things like this to happen in the city of Johannesburg. We are in Johannesburg. We are not staying in Lalen.
But Mama, one would say the community members have been raising these issues, and now we are saying now SAPS must do something, JMPD must do something. You don't know to make sure that such things do not happen in the first place.
What we have done, we have made sure that the police are there. They are there. It's just that you will understand that in the Kagiso police station, there's not enough capacity in terms of a fleet. But what I can say to you is that they are doing. What I need for now is for them to add on what they are using. Not that there is nothing total, but they must add on what is there, so that maybe they strengthen the security capacity in the area.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Community, let's take care. This is a battle. We have to take care of ourselves, everyone. We are seeking whoever killed people. People should be arrested. Thank you very much.
That was Mayor, the ward councillor here, just detailing that there is an issue of lack of resources. So the Kagiso policing station, it covers a wide range. There's Kagiso, the township. Then you've got this area where we are, which is called Tepisong, which also falls under Kagiso in terms of policing services. So that's the issue, that seems to be that challenge of lack of resources to be able to ensure that people who are living here are protected. So we will try to speak to family members. We'll try to speak to the father who was actually celebrating the anniversary. I understand that the partner of one of the partners who we spoke to here was injured, is still in hospital. And also, actually, the person who was celebrating the anniversary lost his son. His son was one of the people who were gunned down in this garage. So we'll try to speak to the family just to get a sense of how they're feeling. But obviously, we'll have to be very, very sensitive and be very, very concerned about their state of mind. So hopefully, in our next crossing, we'll be inside the family and speaking to them just to get a sense of how they're feeling and what this has done to them as family.
Much speculation there about the motive of these killings. Ziniko, have we been able to establish more details with the police? Do they have any leads? While we appreciate that this is still fresh, it only happened last night.
Well, that's another issue, because when we got here, we had read the statement that was issued by the Gauteng SAPS last night, which detailed, it was basically just detailing that about 5 people were killed and then others were killed in a separate location, but within the vicinity. But when we got here, the information we got from community members and neighbors themselves seems to differ from the information that is in the statement. So I'm not surprised that there's that disconnect in terms of the information. So after speaking to community members and eyewitnesses, we will try later on to reach out to SAPS just to establish if they have the latest information as we are here on the scene. So in terms of the motive, it seems as if, because what we understand is that after the ambush in this garage, the gunmen went around. There's allegedly, apparently, a shipping that's around. The people got there, these alleged killers got there and inquired and were looking for the owner, but fortunately for the owner, he was not around, and they ended up shooting 2 people who were just random in that scene. So we can't really say at this point there is a clear motive or there's a clear information that supports that maybe this could have been a hit. Because what we're understanding is that after gunning down 5 people inside this garage, they started shooting randomly at anyone who was outside this venue. So as far as that is concerned, that's it's not clear as to whether there's a clear motive and who these people were and who exactly were they targeting.
And as soon as we get those details from the police, we'll bring them to our viewers. Ziniko Mhlaba in Kagiso, thank you very much for that.